Keep Portland weird. You've seen the sign, probably even heard the phrase, and if you haven't, maybe you're weird. Just kidding, if anyone's weird here, it's us. Right, Otto?
Yeah, that's weird, bro.
But what does that even mean anymore? Is Portland still weird or just misunderstood? Also, it wouldn't be a Portland video if we didn't talk about the food. Per usual, we'll hit the touristy stuff, but we're also here to dive a little deeper, ask questions, talk to people who actually live here, which means we might have to stop being so dang introverted.
Luxury.
Because if anyone knows if Portland's still weird, it's the people that call it home. These are the places that change the way we think about travel. And in this episode, we're asking, what makes this place weird anyway? And does that even matter if it makes you feel something? Welcome to Portland, Oregon. Okay, so we kicked things off with a 2-hour train ride north, hopped off, and then walked maybe 10 minutes to our hotel. Easy.
Yeah, you're good. You go that way.
I hate that so much. Ew. Gross. This is our habitation for the next 3 días. I'm not gonna do this in Spanish. You may have heard me talk in most of our videos how I book our accommodations, which is through booking.com. Now they've never sponsored us, nor do I have a contact for them, but the day that happens, I'm a big booking.com girl. Huge advocate, highly recommend. If anyone's watching this who works at booking.com, hit us up. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because this hotel, if I booked directly through the hotel website, it would have been $750 for 3 nights. This was less than $350 for 3 nights through booking.com. Anyway, here we are. We have a lovely king bed, lots of seating. We have a little living room area. There's also a complimentary wine hour at 5, which I'm 4 minutes late for now, so we got to wrap this tour up. We have a beautiful bathroom that Tony already broke in, and a little kitchenette. We are in the Pearl District, very close to a lot of things, like 2 blocks away from Powell's Books, so it's a good spot. Our first official morning in Portland, and we're kicking things off at a true Portland icon, Powell's Books. It's the largest of the city's independent bookstores, and Google says it's the largest in the world. Powell's is kind of a rite of passage here. It's got that cozy, curated library energy with 4 floors and a coffee shop. It's so big they have their own map so that you don't get too lost. They've even got a whole section dedicated to banned books across the country, which feels very Portland, and I love that. Rick Steve. Look at this dashing young man.
Young Rick. Dashing. But back to this banned book section, because apparently I'm emotionally invested in this topic, since a lot of these books were books I read as a kid or in school. Kite Runner, read this in school. And it's mind-blowing that these are banned in certain parts of the country. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, really? I like that you can tell where a book was banned and why it was banned too. Of course this would be banned. Okay, sure, a bookstore might not scream Portland weird, unless you think reading is weird. But to really understand a place like this, you gotta go beyond the pages. So I took a bit of a leap of faith out of my comfort zone, and reached out to a few local artists to hear their take on Portland. And to my surprise, one actually said yes, and then another one said yes. So here we are, on our way to meet the first of 2 artists to hear what they think of this city. And now I'm realizing I'm completely out of practice when it comes to interviews, so hopefully I don't make this awkward. Coffee helps.
What'd you get?
Strawberry iced latte matcha.
Oh, okay.
Strawberry matcha.
Oh, yeah. I was debating whether or not what I wanted. Yeah.
This is Alex Chu, and we're meeting him at a Vietnamese coffee shop cleverly named Cafe. Alex is a well-respected muralist in Portland, and he's created hundreds of murals here, including the one you might see as you travel through the Portland airport.
So you've been here for 12 years, and there's this saying, I'm sure you've heard it, keep Portland weird.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Well, I've been thinking about it. For me, I feel like Portland really catered towards niche interests. Mm-hmm. So when people are into things out here, they're like really, really into them. And it's less commercial, like people aren't trying to like make a living off of it. They do something for money, I don't know. But then when people get into their hobbies, they're like super, super into their hobbies. When we came out here, one thing that I was really interested in was like making monster costumes.
Really?
So I was a cartoonist, and then I made my own comic strips, but then me and my friend Wally, we put together these paper mache like monster outfits, and then actually did stage performances with them. And I just feel like Portland is a place where that kind of stuff flies and becomes a reality because people do it for the love of it. They're not even trying to get paid for it, but a lot of stuff happens out here that it's just kind of incredible what people are willing to do just because they want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what makes Portland quirky.
Yeah.
Like any interest that you have, like knitting or sewing. My kids are really, my whole family's into roller skating and roller derby right now.
Nice.
So there's a lot of niche interests that have pretty strong communities out here.
A lot of Alex's work starts with listening. He chats with folks in the community and brings their stories into his work. His goal is to help people see their own history and identity reflected back in a way that feels real, especially when that history starts to fade.
So there's a historic Chinatown, and like decades ago, it was all Chinese businesses. They had grocery stores, they had Chinese restaurants. And since I moved here, that was already like dwindling. And then once it went into the pandemic, it's just they lost a lot of business, and then even one of the Chinese restaurants had a fire and they just couldn't recoup. So down there, the Chinese culture and business ownership has really dwindled. So I like to support Golden Horse because they're one of the last Chinese restaurants that's sticking around, and we really like eating there, and we get along with the owner really well. So, and it was a really big honor to be able to paint their building too.
Also, small detail, but not a coincidence, we've been sitting in front of one of Alex's murals this whole time. Huge thank you to him for saying yes to a random message from a stranger on the internet. Let's take a moment and talk about some of the reasons we've heard people say Portland is weird. You could say some of Portland's weirdness comes naturally, like the fact that there's technically 4 volcanoes within city limits, and other things considered weird reflect the delightfully unhinged spirit of Portlanders themselves. It's a place where once a year, thousands gather to ride bikes completely naked.
The event began in 2004 as a way to protest climate change, draw awareness to the vulnerability cyclists face on our roads, and of course to celebrate body positivity.
Where there's a vegan strip club, and I have no idea what that means, but we won't be going there or showing any of that. And legend has it this is where a guy used to ride a unicycle playing flaming bagpipes in a kilt and got kind of famous for it. All that aside, there's still some really quiet parts to this city, and we're heading to one now.
So kind of a cool, lesser known fact is that there are actually 4 volcanoes in Portland. They're all extinct, of course. And Tony's walking up one too, really slowly behind me. Right there. Right there. Only this time the magma didn't initially reach the surface. Rather, the upwelling magma pooled underneath the Troutdale Formation, uplifting an enormous section of Earth into the air.
Yep.
Voila! Mount Tabor is formed. That's a lot of text. I got a picture book.
Sarah becoming one with the tree. You know what you haven't done yet?
Hugged a tree.
Hugged a tree.
We haven't been in the forest. I feel like my nervous system just relaxed.
Wow, was it tense?
Yes, I'm always tense, anxious person. Nice park, laying against a tree, a youth theater camp in the background. It's like my home.
Just a casual neighborhood park on top of an extinct volcano.
All right.
Don't know if anyone's gonna care about that fact besides me, but I think it's pretty cool.
Sarah wanted to relax for a little while. I wanted to go out and see more of this park, so I went off to explore for a few minutes.
It's a good little way to spend the afternoon. You kind of hike your way up here and it's quiet and just hang out for an hour or so. Just let nature do its thing, you know? I found a hiking trail, but I'm not going to go too far down here because I don't want to get lost. And it's already just like a couple steps off the road, and then it gets even quieter.
You know that moment in every horror movie when the music shifts and the black character's like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, that started to kick in for me. The trail started to feel just a little too secluded and a little sketch for my taste, so I headed back. We always like to take the first day to get a little lost, wander around and get a feel for the rhythm of a place before jumping into all the big sights. And I think we accomplished just that today. So we're gonna hang out tonight with this pizza I picked up from Oven and Shaker, and tomorrow we'll hit the ground running.
Oven and Shaker. Oven and Shaker. Oven and Shaker.
Somebody's excited.
Oh yeah. Luxury. Luxury.
Like I said, day 2 we hit the ground running. But first things first, coffee. And Portland's got a lot of coffee shops.
Well, long gone is all the sunshine we had yesterday. This is more of the typical weather I was kind of expecting here, but there's a coffee shop around here that I've been wanting to go to, but I'm not sure if they have food. So before we go there, we're gonna try and get some bagels at a local bakery. Bagel shop.
I haven't had a bagel since before we left for Mexico, and I'm very excited about it.
Stage a shot.
We walked to a spot called Bowery Station that had New York style bagels. Now, at the time of filming this, it was June 2025, and this was the first bagel I've had this year, so I was pretty excited. Especially anything with cheese on it. Very good cream cheese, great flavor. Density of the bread, not my favorite. 6.5 out of 10. I'm a tough bagel critic.
I ordered the Simon Benson, which is ham, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel. Pretty solid.
Chunky ham.
Anyway, coffee. Any sneakerhead out here is going to appreciate this one. This is Dead Stock Coffee. It's not a big spot, but it was started by a former sneaker engineer at Nike. They got custom Nikes and vintage NBA posters all throughout this place. They do this cool sneaker stencil on the coffee too, which is always a huge selling point. I'm about as easy to please as a toddler when it comes to drinks. Fun coffee names, cool stencils, or something with loads of sugar, that's right up my alley.
See the shoe slurping into your mouth.
It was good though.
I've never seen Tony this excited for a cup of coffee that wasn't like drowned in sprinkles and strawberry syrup. We got bagels, we got coffee, now we're on our way to see some flowers and smell the roses, as they say. Now, for the sake of transparency, sometimes in our videos we do things that we're not super excited about because we feel like the people who watch our videos will want to see it or want us to visit. This is one of those situations. We just arrived at the Portland Japanese Gardens. It's supposed to be beautiful. I am just not a garden girl. I don't smell anything either. I don't. And right across the street is the Rose Garden. Now, one of these is free. The other one is $22 a ticket. So we're gonna go to the free one. I like this thing. Can't do that.
That looked pretty good to me.
After the gardens, we headed back downtown to catch up on some editing and emails before it was lunchtime.
One thing you learn about Portland is that food trucks, food pods, food carts, they're everywhere. We stopped at one. I'm not sure what the name is for this one, but it's pretty close to our hotel. There's a couple places we wanted to stop to before that are in here, and there's a bunch of different ones that look really interesting, so it should be tasty.
What I love about food pods is whatever you have a taste for, chances are there's a food cart selling it. Mexican, done. Chinese food, they got you. Even Iraqi food, mac and cheese, and Philly cheesesteaks are in this pod. But be warned, for some, this many options may cause decision fatigue.
I don't like it when there's too many choices.
I ordered some homemade dumplings since I had a craving for them, and these were little juicy flavor bombs.
And while Tony savored his dumplings, I finally decided to order some empanadas from a Colombian pod, but of course I'm gonna try his food first. fiance privileges.
I'm going to interject here because I need to explain what's about to happen. Things were going great. The food was delicious, the vibe was chill, and then
What'd you get?
Beef?
a pigeon happened.
Is that bird poop? Where? In your dumplings?
A bird just in my dumplings. It cost me $16.
Yep, $16 gone.
I cannot believe that just happened.
I was already on the fence about paying $16 for some dumplings, and now I can't even enjoy them. For what I paid, honestly, a part of me wanted to just scoop the poop to the side and finish the meal. But I ain't that crazy. What would you have done? Thrown the whole dish away? Or picked around it and ate the ones the poop didn't touch? Me, I was so disgusted, I ended up ordering something else.
So this is the Mitsu Katsu Curry Sando from Tokyo Sando. It's a lot of sandwich. It's good though. As you can see, I've already eaten half, so this is the second half. And I don't know if I'm gonna finish it.
And a bird didn't poop in it.
We've gotten off track with this Portland is weird question, so we're gonna meet another artist. So this
It's Kyra, baby Kyra. Anytime I tend to have a show with my children, I always feature a piece of me.
Kyra is another local artist whose work centers around Black life and youth empowerment. Full disclosure, this conversation is from yesterday, but for the plot, we moved it to today. She's giving us a little tour of the studio and sitting down with us to talk about her idea of what Portland being weird means. But maybe more importantly, what it means to be a creative here.
So you moved to Portland. Right?
Yeah, I
You said
did.
6 years ago from Cincinnati. What brought you over here?
I was in a relationship. You know, like that's how most people migrate, you know, for love or the thoughts of love.
You're an artist, you're a muralist. How does the art here impact what you do in the community?
Well, I think a lot of the art here is tethered to activism, community engagement, and just like connecting to the community. So I think having came here as an artist really embedded me into a lot of community work and finding community here. And I think that's one of the powerful things about art and how I've gotten so connected to so many of the wonderful people and causes that I care so much about. I will say, knowing that like Blackness isn't a monolith, I do see the cultural differences, but I feel like everywhere I go, I don't know if there's a Black city, I could find Black people wherever. And I also think we may not be filling out the census because there's a little bit more once you do a lot of research. It's just a lot of displacement. You have to go out to events where you're sharing the same core values and your people will be there too.
So there's a saying around Portland, keep Portland weird.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that and what does that mean to you?
Well, I think it's just a very avant-garde way of like, you know, we're authentic here, you know. I think what it is, you know, everyone's vitamin D deficient. It's great 8 months out of the year. So the 4 months we get some sunlight, we might want to be a little naked, you know. You know, this is a walkable city. We want to ride our bikes. But, you know, for the 4 months we got sun, we want to ride our bikes naked. Yeah. Every place is different. And I think Portland embraces the fact that it's different from other places, and that's where they get the keep Portland weird. Once you're in it, like any other place, you will acclimatize. Yeah, you will assimilate. It doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel weird to me. Right. But definitely when I got out here, I'm like, okay, this is a little different.
Do you mind showing off a little bit of your artwork? I know it's kind of like a personal thing.
No. None of this is personal. This is a little Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat piece that I created. It is not on display yet, and it hasn't been on display yet, but I'm making a whole series of work. That unfinished piece that you see there, that is a little Salvador Dali. So it's gonna be a whole series of like artists and things of that sort. I'm working on this project is kind of like developing into something that's special to me because I'm, you know, helping to raise 2 Black boys, and I think about the disenfranchisement, just like the targeting of Black boys. So I'm making a series of some notable figures of, I think, young men that have been let down. This is Yummy Sandiford. He was executed at 13. Very like this like, we have Emmett Till and Trayvon. Just thinking about like how we as a community, like all children being our children, you know, how we fail to show up, how we fail to protect, and how young lives were taken from us. So that's a series that I'm working on. Not a series that I'm looking to sell, but I would love to just make a show and have conversation around that and why this continues to happen. And so I have a whole series of this work out in the community that's likening to the work that you see of my paintings. But these are some of like the celebrities I did during like the pandemic.
We didn't want to take up too much of Kyra's time, but another huge thank you to her for hanging out with us and helping us think a little deeper. Because Portland doesn't stay quiet. Not when it comes to justice. You see it in protests, you see it in the art, but it's not without its struggles. Downtown you'll see tents, closed shops, and uneven recovery. Gentrification and displacement are part of the story here too. But maybe instead of turning our backs on cities, we learn to travel with more curiosity, more empathy, and we keep showing up. Because for us, the more we travel, the more we see the world is so different from the views that we have. And that makes us better people for it. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox. Let's get some donuts. Which, by the way, is apparently as controversial in Portland as picking your favorite food truck or beer. People have opinions. Every Portlander dislikes voodoo. That's a given. Blue Star is kind of a classy staple, but pricey. Annie's is for the traditionalists. A ton of people claim dough donuts might be the best, and they're vegan. And we also heard sesame pop up a few times too. Did we get all the players right? Anyway, with way too many options and far too much pressure, we're skipping the debate and going to the best option closest to us right now. And that's Blue Star.
Can I do the poppy, lemon poppy, and sugar and spice?
So they call them donuts for grown-ups because they use fancy ingredients like bourbon and honey and lavender and spice, zest, olive oil, a dash of sexiness. It's like a bar and a bakery came together, fell in love, and had a delicious baby. Tony wrote that line. I'm saying this against my will.
I thought it was clever.
But they are not cheap. They're about $5 a pop. We got 4 donuts and I got an iced vanilla latte. Total came up to about $30. Right now, this is the sugar and spice. Wow. I read online someone described it as like a cake-like dough. I would agree with that. It's very dense.
These do look really good though. I mean, sugar bomb first thing in the morning, kind of dangerous, but we got a long day ahead. Hopefully we don't hit a sugar crash. But a donut first thing in the morning is like the old school American way, right? This one is the raspberry rosemary, and like these are heavy donuts. I think 2 of these will put us good for most of the day. All over my mouth. Pretty good, really sweet. This one, I actually didn't see it first, but then I saw it in the corner of my eye. I was like, whoa, I gotta get that. This is the old-fashioned s'mores. I kind of want to bite just right into the middle of this thing. I'm not a big chocolate donut fan, but this is pretty good.
Couldn't finish the donuts. Hiking them back to the hotel.
Hiking.
Hiking.
This is good. It's like,
It's a calf burner hill.
yeah, half a mile back,
Yeah.
straight uphill, which is perfect because we need to burn these off.
We dropped the donuts off to eat later and got right back out in these streets. We gotta head a little further north to get to our next stop, and then we're hopping over the river for the rest of the day.
If you're not new around here, you know that Tony and I love a public transportation moment. So we are going to hop on the Portland streetcar. I think we need to take the green north-south line loop to our next destination, but should be pretty easy. This will take you around to various parts of the city, and it is contactless payment, so you can either use your phone with the card already uploaded onto it, or if you have a contactless tap to pay card, you can use that as well. Or if you're old school and want a physical card, you can get one of those as well.
So I kind of came across this place, and I don't know if it's considered a gem or not, but it's not really talked about enough. So it's called Freaky But True. It's kind of like a museum slash art exhibit slash all kinds of weird and crazy things inside. Some of the exhibits are weird, some of them funny, and some of them creepy, like this guy. But I do want to emphasize it is a pretty small museum. So you pay $10, you spend like 30 minutes in there and do all the cool things and leave. Body parts.
Like a disintegrated face. Mary kill. Which one? Go.
This place is what I think of when people say Portland's weird. And it is weird, but it's not uncommon for cities to have little museums like this.
I'm like walking through here half thinking a jump scare is gonna happen.
This kind of reminds me of a small-scale Ripley's Believe It or Not. It even has a spot for us to pull off some of our good acting and directing skills. Step aside, Alfred Hitchcock.
Does it look real?
Detour Trio.
I feel like someone's watching us.
It's our new editor.
We're just gonna nerd out here and have fun for the next 30 minutes, so excuse us.
Like that.
Whose toes are hairiest?
Ask him about his childhood.
So, what was it like growing up? I have a great dentist I could recommend you.
Who's that?
I don't remember my dentist's name.
Oh. Oh, Jesus.
Handbook of Diseases of the Rectum.
Lovely.
In case anyone needs that. Good news, you can rent out this place for weddings, so
Perfect. We were looking for
that
a
takes
spot.
care of our venue.
What you think?
Very fun. Y'all know my threshold for a solid museum day for Sarah is something that is weird and hands-on.
Yeah.
That fit the bill.
Yeah.
Okay, we did enough goofing around, and now it's time for us to make it to the other side of the river. Because over here, there's an Indigenous farmers market happening, a really unique sports bar, and a popular soul food truck that we're gonna grab lunch at. Or so we thought.
I've never seen a food truck line that long.
That was insane. I get why it's popular. We were supposed to go to Keys Loaded Kitchen, which is like a really popular black-owned food cart here in Portland, and like she's like really big in the community. She does Feed Black Portland. People love her stuff, and she's good. Problem is, she opens Thursday through Sunday, I think, at 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and then when she sells out, she sells out. So we're here at 1:38, 1:40, and the line is literally blocks long.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, and we were in the back, so we're gonna go
That's probably a 2-hour
buy
line.
somewhere else. Yeah.
I'm glad that place was so popular, but we're not gonna wait in this line. So off to the bar we go. Oh, by the way, we found a mural that Alex and Kyra worked on together, and that was kind of a fun find.
So this place has been on my list long before we even decided to come to Portland. This is the Sports Bra. It is a sports bar, but it only shows women's sports. Now, I'm not a big sports girl, but I am a raging feminist, so this sounds great. I had a tuna melt with Tillamook cheese. It was fabulous. Tony had a smash burger, I think. Was it good? He's nodding, so he said it was good. And I'm on my second mango summer ale. A portion of the proceeds for each of these pints goes to migrant workers. And Tony is on his second sassy pony for a sassy Tony. Maybe you can call the first bar of its kind weird. Certainly unique. But since we're here, we asked one of the bartenders, Drew, what she thought about Portland.
I think that people think Portland is weird. I think that Portland is how things should be, in the way of be who you want to be, love who you want to love, express yourself how you want to express yourself. And if people think that's weird, I think they're weird. But ultimately, I think everywhere should be like this, just as accepting. We're not perfect, that's for sure, but other places are less accepting of people in the way. I think at least this community is. Here, it's love everybody. Everybody is your friend. Who cares what they look like, how they dress, who they love. And if you think that's weird, then that's dumb. But yeah, I think that I don't think Portland is weird. It felt so good and cozy and homey, and just to see everybody be themselves felt incredible. And I got to find myself through that, which I think is great, and I don't think that's weird at all.
Thanks to Drew for taking time to chat with us while working. Now our very unofficial survey is starting to round out a little bit more. Just a few more stops today, and we wanted to make sure we included something about Portland's Indigenous community too. Most community events are centered around the Cully neighborhood, which is a little out of the way, but definitely worth the trip. I tried to book us a table at the only Indigenous restaurant in Portland, and it was already full. Then I found out it was Thursday, which meant the Cully Farmers Market was happening. It's Indigenous led, and we figured we'd kind of be frauds if we weren't down for a detour every now and then. No, we didn't stay super long, we did some shopping, chatted with a few vendors, and maybe ate 1-2 mini samples.
Apple, blueberry, cherry, crumbs.
Lovely.
With sort of a cast the dice on which one's actually in each little cup. Maybe 2 are alternate, but it might just be 1.
Fire girl now, huh?
The other reason we ventured this far northeast of the river is for a scavenger hunt.
So Portland has this kind of quirky thing called Sidewalk Joy. You know those like free libraries, take a book, leave a book that you see in cities? Well, it's kind of like that, but for more eclectic things like rubber duckies, miniature libraries for squirrels, a jungle gym for bees, that sort of thing. The person or persons who created Sidewalk Joy actually created a map, so if you want to make a little scavenger hunt for yourself, there's a PDF map you can download, but they're also all on Google Maps. Like my preferred weather. I love some overcast. Don't mind a drizzle, honestly. I'm a
Chino. Sorry, go ahead.
Screw what I had to say. There's a tree gnome.
Fellas, you want to know the exact moment you'll know when you're sleeping on the couch? This is that face. Nah, I'm kidding. We reenacted this moment.
I like streets like this. This is the kind of street I dream of living on. Just tree lined with old craftsman houses. Perpetually out of our budget.
Yep.
Because you can't buy a house for $7.
$7.
Historic Irvington is where we are. Apparently I like historic Irvington. Nothing lasts. That's pessimistic.
The last stop on our scavenger hunt isn't on the Sidewalk Joy list, but it's a mural that pays homage to hip-hop.
Greetings, girl, and welcome to
And it just so happens to be a few blocks from our streetcar stop, so it worked out pretty well.
About to walk top stage, so wipe your lottos on the mat. Hip-hop love this is, and don't mind when I quiz your involvements before the sun. The freezer frame of our moves the same, wish we can continue right behind the bush. You'll stay with me, I know this, and not because of all my earthly treasures, or regardless to the fact that I'm passing the noose, but because
We somehow got perfect weather almost the entire trip, which for Portland felt like a gift. But towards the end, the clouds rolled in and the rain showed up, and it started to feel a little more on brand.
It's a little wet and rainy today. Sarah went to go get us some coffee. I'm on the search for some breakfast. There is a food pod that's pretty close to where we're staying. I think it's called the Cart Blocks. Hopefully we can find some breakfast burritos or something. That's kind of cool. It's like a London double-decker bus wine bar. It's not open right now. I don't think anything around here is really open except for Tito's for burritos, which is what we're gonna do, and that rhymed, even though it wasn't supposed to. Clearly I need coffee already this morning. Morning. Are you open?
Yeah, but just for breakfast.
Okay, perfect. Can I get 2 breakfast burritos with bacon? I gotta be honest with y'all, I really haven't found Portland that weird. I mean, sure, the Portlanders are openly expressive. They dress how they want to dress. They cut their hair how they want to cut their hair. They act how they want to act. And I think Portland is a safe space for them to do so, to be themselves. I don't find that weird. I mean, maybe that's weird that I don't find that weird. Maybe I'm a little weird myself, but Portland just seems like a regular city, just regular people doing regular things. I think like this perception of what Portland is has gotten a little out of control in media. Sure, it's not perfect. There's some things going on here that we are kind of touching on slightly, and it goes a lot deeper than that are happening in Portland. But honestly, on the surface level, it's just like any other city. And I kind of enjoy it. Anyway, burritos are ready.
Let's see if Tito himself will be down to answer this question.
Do you think Portland's weird?
Well, it's getting, I think it's getting weird. I don't know, is that the right thing to say, you know, but I think it is.
And you said you've been here for 19 years?
More than 19 years. I moved from California in 1994.
Do you plan on sticking around, or you think you might?
Oh, yeah, I'll stay here.
Yeah.
I got my family here, so I'm going to stay as long as I can.
Yeah, I feel you. Thank you, appreciate you. All right, got burritos in hand, now let's get out of this rain. Got 2 massive breakfast burritos from Tito's Burritos. Tito's Burritos. Shout out to Tito, because he talked to me for a little bit. This is your normal breakfast burrito. Hash browns, cheese, eggs, bacon, but that's a big boy.
This shit, G-O-O-D. Good. That's really good. The bacon is like crispy. Got eggs, potatoes.
Beans, greens, tomatoes,
Yeah, I
potatoes.
was gonna try that. I didn't know the...
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat.
We're catching the train out of here, but before we do, let's leave you with some of our thoughts. Portland is rough around the edges. There are real issues here, but mostly it's creative. People here keep showing up, keep making things, and keep trying. So our take, we wouldn't call Portland weird, maybe just a little quirky. Like rubber duckies, a miniature jungle gym for squirrels. Who else? I love Overcast.
I can deal with it. As long as it doesn't rain and it's like this with a little bit of sunshine, I'm cool.
You passed your tree. Way past it.
You know.
You way past it.